Hi, good morning. Look at that full moon. Oh, I must have woke up weird. It's Thursday, August 27th, and guess who's here? Jelly Bean. So, where to begin? Let's start with two things. These were the two big things that were both part meditation and part dream from last night. And we'll just have the moon over our shoulder coming up. So, let's see. One, there's this something about inhale, exhale, like you can't do both at the same time easily. I've heard there are people who can do that circular breathing thing, and it's almost like you're inhaling and exhaling at the same time. And that takes like a lot of deep focus and building that skill. But for most of us, if we try to inhale and exhale at the same time, we're not getting the benefit of either. We're not taking in oxygen, we're not dispelling CO2, so that would build up in our system and be toxic, as well as not taking in oxygen to nourish everything our body needs. And it's literally the thing that we need. It's the most immediate need is what's coming to me. First is like, you can do without water a little while, you can do without food a little while, you can do without movement a little while, but air, it's a very little while if you're without your breath. So take that as however it resonates for what's going on in your life, because there's something that says where you place your attention, something about your attention. I don't know who this is for, but like, are you placing your attention on what's coming in or what's going out? Either one of those things, wherever you place your attention, it will allow it to fill and complete. It'll allow the full cycle to complete wherever you're placing your attention. If you're trying to hold both things in your attention, it's like a little tug of war. It's like, nothing is fulfilled. Does that make sense? Like, it's almost like it's like sometimes in life it feels like, yeah, we need to have our attention on many things at once. Like, we need to be multi-threaded. And it feels like something in today's message is like, yeah, just that. Where's your attention? It's almost like not forcing it. Where's your attention being called? Go there and let it rest there, at least for a while, till it feels like something is completed. It's going to be a feeling. It's not for this. What keeps coming through is like, it's not for the mind to figure out. Rest your attention on where it wants to rest and let it rest for an extended period of time, longer than you normally would, and let something come to fruition, to fulfillment, to completion. Okay, that was part one. Part two is about a dream I had. Now, there were multiple parts of the dream. There were some parts that I know are only for me, so I won't share those because those were for me. That tends to be what I do. Those parts set aside. The other part, while I found it interesting, was for more than just me, so that's the part I'm going to share. I was in this place with a lot of people, a lot of felt like people I knew and cared about, like loved ones, friends, even though I didn't know who they were. The point was, there were people around, And they were, at this point in the dream, they were all in like, they were kind of resting in one room. They were kind of chilling. I think one person was like in a hammock. Some were lying on the floor. One person was like up on a daybed situation. I don't know. People were just lounging and resting and chilling. So they were there, but I was backed up in a prior room. There was a hallway out front, so I was outside of all the rooms. My perspective was, and I walked by the first room prior to getting to where the people were chilling, although I knew they were there. I walk by one room and I look inside, and it was to my left. I look inside and there's this giant spider inside the middle of the room, suspended in its own web, and the web took up the whole room inside. It was like wall-to-wall web. This giant spider was all spread out, all 8 legs, right in the center of the web, just sort of like hovering there, right in the center. It was so beautiful. It was not scary. You know how I feel about dreams. Like, it's all about the feeling of the dream, because that's what tells us more about the message. I was not in fear. I was in awe, and I was in reverence, and I was like admiring the beauty of it. And what struck me was like how it was waiting. It had spun its web and it was waiting. So both of these messages have this like, do something and wait kind of energy. And then when I meditated on that dream, what really came through was how like we've been in this period of that liminal space. And of course a spider would show up in its liminal space, but the beauty was how there's like this feminine energy, like the divine feminine energy of the spider who manifests what it wants. It creates, it waits, it spins a web to draw things toward it. So it doesn't go out like other things in the animal kingdom where it goes out and hunts. It has like that, I have this thing I feel I need to do, and I'm going to go out and do it. I'm going to like go out. There's like that outward seeking energy of a lot of the animal kingdom. What I admire about the spider, and I felt it in this dream, is how it does something that comes natural to it. That's a key part. It does all that it knows how to do. Is it gets born and it starts spinning webs. It's like, oh, this natural, oh my God, I just saw Spider-Man, the new one, like a week ago. That's funny. Because, the natural part of this is coming. Oh, I feel something's connecting between my spine and my abdomen here. And coming up into my solar plexus and heart. Wow, you guys, what's going on for you? And my breath. Yesterday's message was that alchemy, things blending. So that's like coming in. It feels like, we'll get back to the spider in a minute, but I have to feel this to the fullness. It's like in this liminal waiting, alchemizing state we've been in, it's filling up all of you from the inside out. That's the point of it. We've silenced a lot of that, oh, I've got to figure shit out right now. And it's like, no, this is about the not knowing. You know you have this calling for something larger, right now is about the not knowing. So you've already, I know you're doing this. You're trying to turn off this energy here because you know it just does this. It obscures things. So I feel very confident that you've already done that. What I feel now is this fullness is like expanding within you, and it's connecting all of your energy centers, almost like there's more fluidity between them. There's less stagnation between them. I don't like the word blockages. There's less stagnation. Oh my God, a burp. It's like there's this kind of like from the root down, like coming up and out, from the inside out. This is you emerging more fully. It's like you're filling up your whole space. This is weird, guys. I know it's weird. It started with me trying to eat the moon. It's a weird day. Well, it is the eclipse day too. It's like later on, like a lot of hours from now. It'll peak. Okay, so that like moved through. So back to the spider. What I admire about the spider and its divine feminine energy, it doesn't force things. It weaves its web. It does what comes natural to it. And that's the tie-in to the Spider-Man movie. Is like he went from having these attachments to his wrists, something he built that had like a material he invented that shot out like synthetic web. And in the movie, spoiler alert, he like stopped, he stopped suppressing, oh my God, you guys, he stopped suppressing his innate DNA mutations, what was happening naturally from within. He was growing, that he was coming to his fullness. And what happened is he blasted off his makeshift synthetic web makers, and in his wrist he could, I can't use both hands right now, but he would use his other hand, and he like pushed out natural web juice. It's like he splooged it out of his own wrists, and he was like, ugh. And it was like more abundant and more powerful than his synthetic web because he stopped suppressing his innate, what was happening innately within him. Oh my God, that feels like the sign of the times, y'all. So with this web dream, what I was going to say that I admired the most was how those divine feminine aspects of us spins her web, sits in the middle of it to feel, or maybe sits off to the side. I don't know how they work, probably in the shadows. And wait, something about the moon also illuminating the whole web so the spider can see what's happening. But what's most important is the spider maybe has one little arm, one eighth attention, just one of those 8 arms resting on one of the pieces of the web that connects to the structure, to the frame, and waits for the vibration to hit. So obviously when, say, a fly lands in the web, it creates a vibration, and that's what alerts the spider, like, oh, what I spun in waiting, I feel the vibration of what it has attracted, what it has caught, and then I know what to go after. And it's easier now because I've waited for all, like the wind to blow the fly my direction, because I spun my web in an area where I can take full advantage of all the elements of nature. The wind blows this way at this time of day, when these particular insects come out and play. It's gonna be a weird day, y'all. So like, just like, that's the energy of what's happening for you, for me, for us. That's what we can tap into today under the full moon, the eclipse. It's about ready to go down behind those trees, perhaps. So, do you feel that? That's like, we're moving out of this trying too hard era. We're not trying too hard anymore. It's like doing what comes next. That's the whole point of this message. These two intertwined is like, where we place our attention is what's natural to us, okay? What are we doing that's natural to us? Place your attention there and let it bloom, let it grow, let it, like, are we breathing in to get nourished? Are we breathing out to expel what no longer is needed for our body? Place our attention on what comes natural to us and wait. You've harnessed all the elements around you, like to blow the insects into your web. The universe is sending you where you place your attention and intention, and you've spun your web to catch it. So, I feel something in my creative energy center right here in the front this time. The web is an act of creation. I feel like a lot of us, like, maybe that's the paradigm and the understanding that's shifting, is like this whole waiting gets associated with non-doing, rightfully so, but that gets misassociated with like lazy or like apathy or stagnation. And that is not, I think we're moving away from seeing that version of truth to seeing a new version of truth, which is, because everything's true, right? At some point, waiting may have felt like, it can feel like stagnation if we wait too long. So we're moving into an understanding of like, trying too hard sometimes gets in the way. It sometimes creates our own roadblocks, right? I know you felt it. I have too. So now we're moving into a time of like intentional creation from what comes natural within us to harness all the energies, let the universe work its magic and align everything and blow it into our web, and we will be ready and sticky enough to catch it. Get sticky. It's time to get sticky. Get sticky in the waiting. Oh my God, so many funny metaphors with like, I don't want to say it, but I already said the word splooge and now there's stickiness. This can feel like a very gross and message. But I think you pick up what I'm putting out. So anyway, putting out. Yeah, we got to end this message. But you know what I mean. So those were the two big things that came through today. Something about doing too much at once with the inhale, exhale keeps us like, can't breathe. Do one thing to the fulfillment where you feel like it is fulfilled and it's a feeling. Place your attention there for a while and wait. What are you creating in the waiting? Creating in the waiting. What web are you spinning? Make sure your web is nice and sticky and it's set up in a space where the universe likes to blow things you're interested in catching. Like it's all related. It can be very like cerebral without trying too hard, What lights up your cerebral? I feel like because the spider is very clever. The spider is very clever. What energies do you tap into with the spider? I thought of Charlotte's Web too when I was meditating on this, and it filled me with such this bittersweet, joyful sadness. And it's like, what was the word she spun in her web? Was it, she spun a lot of words. Oh, I'm getting all the chills. I'm glad we hung out here in our web for a while. See, things come to fruition when we wait. Magnificent was the first thing. But there was like this, oh, hold on. Every time I say hold on, it takes me half a second and I'm back. It might feel like I'm away longer, or probably not. It just cuts right to it, doesn't it? So she's spelling words, and something struck me yesterday that I heard. So I said, tuck that away. It'll become important. You know, I love words. I don't know why the hell this never struck me before with someone who loves words so much. And I loved spelling bees, and I loved all the things about words. Still do. Somebody said, and this is what I love about the mystical, magical thing about spiders and being clever, and they spin the web and they feel very witchy. Spelling, like Charlotte spelled. She, like, what she spelled, like to spell is to cast a spell with your words. They're very magical. So spelling is the act of creating spells. I'm spelling right now. I'm creating spells. I'm spelling words. It's like to create a word is to cast a spell, because that word has a meaning. It hits people in their cerebrum. They make sense of things. They're like, the same word doesn't mean the same thing to each of us. So what Charlotte was doing, oh my God, I feel this. Sometimes, you know how I usually get chills with like resonance? All of these today have been hitting me right here, like so big in my creative energy center. It's the sacral chakra. Every time she spelled a new word, it was for the purpose of zapping people with how they should feel about this pig. Don't just send it to market. This pig's magnificent. She cast a spell on everyone who cast their eyes on her words that she spelled in her web. You guys, this is making my head spin. It's all about spinning your web. What are you spelling into existence? What this makes me think of is how, as we step into this time of becoming the creator of our own worlds, I know we now believe ourselves to be the creators. Whatever it's, what this liminal space has been about, before I leap, I want to feel this about what I'm creating, so I know that when I cast my spell, because I know that spell's going to be powerful, so I need to have the right intention for what I'm creating, because I know what I'm about to manifest is something I want to live in for a while. I want to inhabit it, right? Because when I sit in the center of that and what I've created, that web, when I sit in the center of it and it's ready to catch everything the universe is blowing into me, I want to be ready to go wrap it up like the spider. I'm going to be nourished by everything I create, like everything I capture. These are big times for you. I can feel it. Yeah, I think this message is done. There's a lot to it. There's a lot. every little one of these metaphors, analogies, images, the visceral sensations, it's all cohesive for what's happening right now. We're gonna go, because this little guy, which way do I want to, remember that show, Kids in the Hall? Take advantage of this full moon energy. Scoop it up. I hope you have a great Thursday. Let me know what you're doing. What are you trying to attract into your web? And what also came to me was this old poem I wrote that I'll end with. I don't know. You're not a counter cat. I always have to tell him he's not a counter cat. And then he's like, oh yeah, I forgot. You're right. I'll get down now. There's this poem that came to me, and I don't remember the full poem because I threw it away. I threw everything away. I don't know why. And the ones that stick are the ones that stick. But this imagery of like waiting, when you're waiting, you're beating, like this, the phrase was beating like a spider. You know how a spider, when it's waiting, you can kind of sense, you've seen maybe video, or when a spider seems to be like beating, it's almost like a heartbeat as it's waiting. It's like, it's not stagnant, it's not inactive, it's not entirely at rest, but it's intentionally waiting. There's a life force running through it. So just know that's the energy right now. It's like there's not stagnation anymore. There's an aliveness in the waiting. You're beating like a spider. Your heartbeat, you're beating like a spider. That was the phrase in my poem that struck me in this meditation of the spider. So, yeah. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you.